there, and Waka Flocka was really like kind of not saying too much. Like he was more low key, but he tapped the guy and was kind of like handle that. And his friend got into his face and got into the girl's face and was like, shut the fuck up, bitch. I get to decide who's in the section. It was really, really mean, and he was also correct because the customer's always right, no matter what it is in a customer service job, which dancing is customer service and sales. So he's right. So he shut that down, and then they ended up throwing like thousands I think we each left with about $2,500, and there was about 5 of us in the section. They were super polite, super nice, did not sexually harass us at all. And I just really loved that his friend had my back and like didn't let someone bully me into getting kicked out of money that was mine because he asked me into the section. So yeah, everything was perfect in that experience. Not all of them are. I feel like now, what? Go ahead.
I have a question. So you said you had some crazy stories. That was a nice, basic, cool money-making story. I want to hear the cringy. I want to hear the cringy, filthy,
okay,
nasty,
so now I'm going to tell
shit.
you about my story in the back room because I got something. Yeah. But I wanted to say something positive because there's people
okay, well, that
out
was
there.
cute. That was cute.
It was so cute, and they handled it. It was amazing, and like hearts that. Yes. Okay. So now one of my cringiest stories. Okay. So I used to work at this place in downtown LA, and I was a baby stripper. I think I was maybe like 7-8 months into it, and I had a customer that was a construction worker. I was sitting him for a while. I thought he was kind of weird, but I didn't think he was this weird. I was like, all right, like no other dancer's talking to him, but I'm gonna talk to him because it's a slow night. And so I saw him. It wasn't even a VIP. It was like a 3 for $100. It was like 3 songs for $100. And we go into the back, and he requests that I take off my heels. And I don't know if you guys know this, but stripper feet smell like shit. Stripper feet are literally disgusting. Like we are sweating throughout the night, and I'm a pole princess, which means like I do pole tricks, like I'm active on stage. So I am drenched in sweat after every shift. So this guy was like, I want to take your heels off and massage your feet. And I was like, all right, bet. Like he's paying me for that, right? So I go in the back, and then he takes my heels off, and I'm automatically embarrassed because my feet smell like shit. And I go like this, and I lean back. So I'm like, and I'm covering my eyes, so I'm not even watching what's happening. All I know is he already paid for the thing, and he's here, and there's 3 songs, and I have to sit here. I'm going to close my eyes.
How long is this story? This is the longest story
I'm almost
I've ever heard in my life.
Done.
This is like, are we getting to the end?
Sir?
I'm honest.
Okay. I'm covering my eyes, and I feel a jerking motion. Okay, my body is jerking. I'm like, why is my body jerking right now? And I open my eyes, and this guy is straight up on my feet.
Jacking off on your feet?
Mm-hmm. Am I allowed to say that?
I mean,
he was just straight up jerking off on my feet.
That's fucking disgusting.
The way that I started screaming in the back room, I started screaming. I'd never seen anything like this. And the bouncer came in and saw all of it. Like my feet were exposed. He's doing his thing. That guy did get dragged out at the club. It was disgusting.
I've had a dude pay
I'm traumatized from that, by the way. I've told that story like 4 times, and every time I do, I get the goosebumps, and then my heart starts like pounding.
So let me get this right.
It was so traumatic.
I want to make sure I get this straight.
That's horrible.
You ground your vagina on men's junk over the clothes for money, but when he came to him jerking off on your feet, that was just a little too much for you. That was where you drew that line.
I think anytime a man pulls out his genitals in a strip club, it's going to be shocking and it's going to be out of line because that's not what we do in the strip club. Okay, as everyone.
Oh no! Lots of strippers, and tell the truth, they have a little side hustle going on, don't they?
Well, whatever side hustle those girls have is their side hustle, and I know nothing about it.
Yeah, but you know that they do,
But what I do know is that in LA, where I work, if you do anything extra, you're getting fired, which means you're banned from meeting new customers. You're banned.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but I mean it's pretty common. It's pretty much common practices that they do side shit for money. It's well known, even in LA.
But what I'm telling you a story about is my story about the back room that I had, which was requested of me to speak on. So that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah, I know. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of making the same general characterization because I don't understand how can you grind your genitals on a man for money and get him hard in his pants while you grind on his hard-on. But the second he decides to, do something just a little bit different than that, well, that's where we draw the line. I've never really understood the mentality with that.
If you nut in your own pants, that's different, but don't pull out and fucking nut on a female, then you're going to get punched in the fucking face.
I think it's anything that, you weren't prepared for.
Hold on, I'm moving it on.
What was worse was the bestiality
conversation. Yeah, that was pretty bad, too.
This whole conversation was crazy.
That was pretty fucking terrible.
I need a shot.
Can I say one more thing? There's rules that you go into a strip club knowing, and there's rules that the dancers have and the customers are supposed to abide by. When those rules are broken, that's when the customer's getting dragged out. And in that moment, the rules were broken.
Okay. We get it.
Yeah, I don't think dudes should be, whatever that dude did, he shouldn't have done it.
Facts, completely.
Anyways, okay, you said two things that you hate, a lazy dancer and a fake trick.
A lazy what?
What's a fake trick?
A fake trick is when you go to the club and this guy pulls out, let's say a guy pulls out $1,000 and he's like, I'm going to spend it, I'm going to throw it, and then he pockets it and takes it home. That's a fake-ass trick.
Okay.
You get that?
Is this something someone can encounter in dating too, or is this just like a club thing?
Dating?
Yeah, a fake trick.
Okay, so I think the biggest sale with trick tendencies is they'll tell you all the things that they can do for you, and then a girl will believe it, and then after 6 months, they can no longer provide the lifestyle that they've been providing in the beginning of the relationship. That's also a fake trick, and that's also devastating because they sold you an idea of themselves that was not real. So that's also fake AF.
All right. You also wanted to mention something about the sassy men apocalypse. I think
isn't that what you're selling them though? Aren't you selling them the same thing? You're selling them like
if you're referring to the strip club, that's different. If we're talking about dating.
Well, how's that different? I mean, it's the same shit, right? You're selling them the illusion that you're into them,
in the strip club, and they know
that you like them. You're selling them the same illusion, right?
Yeah, in the strip club, they know it's illusion. They know it's not real. But if you're outside,
do they? Why do we just kind of bake in the assumptions that they know these things?
If they don't, they're tripping.
That men can't be preyed on by women inside of these clubs. Clearly, they very clearly can. Not all men who go into these clubs, even though they can consent because they're of age, have all their faculties, they seem to be taken advantage of plenty.
If they're getting taken advantage of, it's because they want to be taken advantage of.
Oh, well, then I guess if you're getting taken advantage of, it's because you want to get taken advantage of.
Facts.
Manipulation is real.
Facts.
Okay.
Moving on.
Would we say the same thing? So, like, wait, if you're getting... That's actually a good point Andrew raises. So if you are getting taken advantage of, it's because you want to be taken advantage of. What about, like, a guy who lies to a girl about his... long-term intentions in order to get her into bed. So, the girl, she only wants to have sex with a long-term boyfriend, and he's like, baby, I love you, I want to be with you. They have sex, and then he never talks to her again.
I think that happens every single day.
It does, yeah. It happens a lot.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
It's wrong, but...
That either means the coochie or the dick was trash. Either way. That's what it means. If you guys fucking, you never fucking again, then something is wrong.
Well, but he could also just be like trash if he's just like wants to bang, but is like lying.
That's true too. But most of the time, if you're just wanting to fuck and hook up, if it's just a hookup thing, it's like
about what?
Well, Andrew said that if you get taken advantage of, it's because you wanted to be taken advantage of.
To an extent.
Is that the same case if a girl gets tricked in that way?
I mean, if you want the D, you want the D.
No, it's because she wanted it. She wanted to be taken advantage of. That's the logical extension, right?
I don't think it's
that's why these kinds of sloganeerings by people who cope because they've engaged in prostitution. It's a cope, right? They're coping about the engagement of prostitution, but when you take it to its logical extension, you find out, well, wait a second. When men are taking advantage of them, they seem to have a completely different outlook than when they go, oh, well, men going into strip clubs, they know they're being taken advantage of. Well, no, they don't all know that.
Wait.
The strip club.
Just hang on.
I feel like we should back up a bit.
True that they just know that.
We gotta back up. We gotta back up a teeny bit. When somebody comes to the strip club, they're looking to party and have a good time. And and in the strip club, that's like bottle service and having a bunch of beautiful women around them, right? If you want the guy that's getting away from his wife that just wants to sit there and maybe get a couple dances, you know, like he's coming there for a reason and he knows it's going to cost him money. So it's not really taking advantage of. It's two different scenarios.